I think about, do y'all remember watching that video by Howard Pittman, this preacher, his testimony? Did y'all ever watch the? I think I showed it one time, some years ago. But it was a testimony about a preacher who had died. In fact, he wrote the book The Placebo. I think he just recently died. What, back in 2019, Brother Garcia? Was it 2019, 2019 or 2020?
I think it was 2000. It was 2019. 2019 probably.
Okay. Yeah, I had ordered a few of his books. I actually, before I moved up here to Tennessee, I called his phone number and actually talked with him on the phone. And I ordered his books and stuff like that, and he mailed them to me. But he wrote a book called The Placebo. And he talked about how Christians, everybody know what a placebo is? Who doesn't know what a placebo is?
I know.
It's like what they call a water pill. It's a fake pill that has nothing in it to cure anybody. As opposed, like, for instance, and there's been plenty of studies done where doctors have taken half of the patients. Let's say, for instance, they might have a headache, and they give half of them a real Tylenol, and they give the other half a placebo. In other words, just a water pill, no substance to it. And they all say the same thing: "Hey, this pill took my headache away." And the idea is not the pill as much as it is your belief, your faith, And so, but anyway, he wrote a book called A Placebo because, just to kind of be short about it, he was a preacher, and he pastored a church, and basically he had like a heart attack or something happened with his heart or something like that, and he went in the hospital, but he had died. And he went and stood before the Lord, and the Lord told him he wasn't going to heaven. And he was surprised because he had been preaching. He was pastoring a church. He stood out on the corner just about every evening when he got out from work and won souls to Christ. And I mean, in his mind, he was doing all of these works, doing all of these things that he thought would be pleasing to the Lord. And so when he was standing before the Lord and the Lord told him, you're not coming to heaven, he couldn't understand why. And now this happened for real. This wasn't some dream. And that's what he makes clear in the video. This was not a dream. This was not a vision. I was really standing before the Lord. And he said, when he asked the Lord, wait a minute, why? And he said the Lord told him basically what it boiled down to. He was doing all of that, but didn't have a relationship with God. He had a placebo religion. He just had religion with no relationship. And he was saying that the Lord told him all of these works you have done, and I think he made it clear. The Lord told him, these people that you were preaching to that got saved, they'll come to heaven, but you won't. And he was telling him all of these works that you were doing. All of these different works you were doing, the standing out on the corner and preaching to people and giving away food and all of these other, him and his wife, they had a ministry where they had adopted so many children and all of that, All of these works, the Lord told him all of that stuff was an abomination to me. He said it was an abomination because you were doing that trying to replace having a real relationship with me. You were doing that really because you did not have a relationship with me. And so in other words, his heart hadn't changed. He thought by doing all of these things, if I just do all of this stuff, the Lord will accept me. And the Lord told him, that stuff you were doing, all of that was an abomination to me. And he goes into detail about it. I think it's about an hour long. You can probably, I'll see if I can find it I got a copy of it on DVD, him telling the testimony. But then with that, the Lord also showed him some other things, that was going to take place and stuff like that. But it's really, I'm going to see if I can find a copy of the book. I think I had a copy of it in PDF format, and I'll see if I could. Who all want a copy of the book? It's not a long book. It might be maybe 100 pages long or something like that. It's not a thick book or nothing like that. But I'm gonna see if I can see if I can get you all a copy. All right, brother Linda,
Yes,
Matthew 6 raise his hand. Who else?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna see. Somebody see if you can find that book. Look up Howard Pittman, Placebo, and PDF file. See if you can find that book. We might be able to share it on here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I have it.
You found it?
Yes, sir. Yep, I have the PDF on my screen right now.
Are all the pages there?
Looks like 51 pages on this. If I click on the computer, you see it says it has 14 chapters.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. Is there a way you can share it?
I think so. Let me see here. Skype. All right. So sharing. Let's see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I can see my screen.
Oh, yes, sir.
Will it be shared? How you gonna share it, in the chat or?
I'm sharing my screen now. Do you want me to share the? Oh, you want me to share the actual file?
Yeah, the file.
All right, hold on. Let me get out of here. Send the file. I don't know if I can. I don't know if it'll let me send the actual physical file, but I can send the link to find it.
Okay.
Let me flip it.
Yeah, to me, that book made me know you ain't gotta write a thick book to really get people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
That book, to me, that book was one of the best books that I've ever read outside of the Bible. I think we need to add that to our mandatory library. You know, like, honestly, I really see why, you know, churches have orientations. All right, does everybody see it? The link to it? And if you just click on the link, it'll download the file. Just make sure you save it where you remember.
That's pretty. It's pretty terrifying. So how do you make sure that you have a relationship with God?
To me, just by being sincere. Just by being sincere with him. You know, like really serving him with your whole heart. And by that, I don't mean doing a lot of works or anything like that. I just mean by being sincere, by loving him, you know. Just being sincere and being, to me, and this is the best way, when I say sincere, I mean being real with him. Like, for instance, if I know that I have a struggle, then the Lord's gonna know about it. You know, I'm not gonna try to hide it. I'm not gonna hope that nobody else see it. Because if I live a life of hope and nobody else see it, and you know, and trying to put on and things like that, then that means I don't have a sincere relationship with the Lord. So so to me, that's how we are. Make sure that we have a genuine relationship with the Lord by being sincere. I'm not, you know, there's no malice in my heart, no evil intent, you know, or anything like that. What you see is what you get with me, you know, and being that way, just being genuine, you know. For instance, I think somebody was sharing earlier, I think it might have been Brother Pujo, was sharing earlier about Miss Shade and how, I can't remember the word he was saying, but basically how she was faithful and she stuck with what she was doing all those years. For almost half a century, she did the same thing. And to me, that's part of what having a relationship with the Lord is. I can't sit here and say that I ain't never done nothing that displeased the Lord, and that I ain't never done nothing that willingly. There have been times I have willfully sinned and knew I'm gonna have to pay for this one. Knew it without a shadow of a doubt. But one thing I never tried was hiding. I never tried to hide. Lord, hey, please help me with this. You know, I you know, whatever the case is. So to me, that's what it means to be sincere. You know, because hiding don't make it go away. Hiding don't take away from God's wrath about it. You know, if it is that, to me, and I've used this as an example before, and we'll use it again. King Saul and King David. Those are the two prime examples. Those are the examples. Saul could have been spared had he just confessed when the Lord came for him. But he rejected what the Lord was trying to get him to see. You disobeyed me. The Lord had to argue him down about his disobedience. So that showed that he wasn't sincere. Whereas King David, when the Lord approached him, same method, through a prophet, approached him, King David said, you know what, you right. You found me today. And you know, he didn't have to be wrestled down. You know, and to me, that's the difference. Listen, brothers and sisters, I want you all to know that sitting here today, you don't hide from God. We can't hide from him. I don't care how good and I'm gonna tell you something about it. Boggles my mind that it's folks in this ministry that still think that they can hide and still think as if I can't see, and as if the Lord don't see. I can live 1,000,000 years and never tell you what I know, but you'll answer for it on Judgment Day if you don't straighten up about it. Your insincerity don't make me see now. Does everybody understand that? So that's what the Lord desires is sincerity. If you have an issue, be upfront with the Lord. That's all. That's from the beginning of time. Did you eat of that tree I told you not to eat of? No, that woman that you gave me. The serpent beguiled me. Neither one of them sincere. And because they lacked sincerity, they did not have the grace of God to help them out of that situation. That's what the Lord was doing. He was trying to throw them a lifeline. Did you do what I told you not to do? When folks are saying no, what they're saying is, I'm going to pay for it. I got it. I'll pay for it. You know. So how can God help you? So to me, you think about it this way: when you have a real issue, and I'm talking about, listen, I'm talking about some real issues. I'm talking about the cattiness that I see. I'm talking about the malice of having an issue with somebody else being blessed. All of that junk, that stuff, that needs to be worked out before you stand before God. And when you sincerely have an issue, how can God help you when you call yourself, just like you think about like a child? How many of you ever seen America's Funniest Home Videos, where you got a child and ate cookies, and the parents standing there looking at all the crumbs all over his face? But when the parents ask him, "Did you eat those cookies?" They say, "No, I didn't eat it," and the crumbs all over their face, and they hide one cookie behind their back. To me, that's what it looked like. You know, the Lord saw you when you stole a cookie. you can't tell him you ain't ate it when the evidence is there. And to me, what somebody's saying when they're not sincere with the Lord is, Lord, I'm smarter than you. There ain't no, I ate it, but you ain't seen it. So just being sincere. Listen, we hear enough of God's wisdom and enough of His word to know what's pleasing to Him and what's not. And I don't care how we try to get around. Oh, I didn't know this. Oh, I didn't. That you ain't nobody in this ministry gonna be able to say they didn't know nothing. You ain't going to some Baptist church somewhere. You ain't gonna be able to say you didn't know. You're gonna be held more accountable. You see. And so to me, having a sincere relationship is, Lord, I see what your words say, and I ain't lining up to it. And and listen, now here's the thing. Many people don't pray that prayer because they don't want to line up to it. They're not interested in getting that costs too much. And I'm not willing to pay it. Yeah, I got the funds to pay it, but I ain't gonna pay that. I want to keep going the way I've been going. I want to keep going down the road I've been going down. That's somebody that don't have a sincere relationship with the Lord. The way you know you don't have a sincere relationship with the Lord is when you think you can tell God how you gonna get to heaven. When you think you can do what you want to do and still get there. Do you know it's gonna be a whole lot of people that went to heaven with something in their life that wasn't pleasing to the Lord, but they were sincere about their life. They might have had a struggle that the flesh just couldn't get past for whatever reason. All the Lord is looking for is sincerity. So it would be like you going to the doctor. You done had a heart attack. You know that's serious, and you know you done had a heart attack. You done came to church Saturday, and I done told you that's a heart attack you have. But when you show up at the doctor's office, you tell the doctor, it's just a headache. The Lord will give you whatever you come to Him for. If you come to Him for a headache and you done had a heart attack, all you're going to get is headache medicine. That ain't going to fix your heart. So to me, with the Lord, that's the way we know we're being sincere. Lord, I done had a heart attack and I got a headache. They both need to be fixed. Not, I'm going to hide the heart attack because I don't want the Lord thinking I'm weak and all the other brothers and sisters to think that I'm weak. I tell you, no, I want you to think I'm going to heaven. I don't care what it looks like. You gonna know what it was when you see me there. I don't care what it looked like on this side. I got an issue, and Lord, I need help. You see. So that's what the Lord is looking for: sincerity. And that's the difference between King Saul and King David. One of them was sincere, the other one wasn't. King David did, to me, in my opinion, King David did a whole lot worse than what King Saul did. King David went all down the line with his mess. He lusting after a woman, calling a woman, and sleeping with the woman, and then trying to fool the woman's husband and thinking the baby was his. And when that didn't work out, we kill him, and then I marry you, and just we gonna live happily ever after. It took a while to get down that road he was on. But you know what? Because he confessed it, the Lord forgave him. He still had to, he had still invited some stuff into his home, but he confessed it, and the Lord forgave him for it, and told him, I'm wiping that sin away from you, but it'll be in your household, but I'm gonna wipe that sin away from you. And so to me, that's something that we need to be watchful for, is having a sincere. If we have an issue, it can't get fixed with us hiding. It can't get fixed. And I'm talking about sincerity. We know it's very rare that I don't know who the Lord is preaching to. That's very rare. And so when I preach, I know that it's people locally that need to hear it. I don't care how you're not bringing it up when we're coming together. I know this. Okay, so they didn't get it this time because they didn't say nothing. But I'll be preaching on it. I'll hit it again here soon. You know, that's always the case. But how can the Lord help you when you're hiding? Like, he can't help you. And he can't even extend his mercy. His mercy, you disqualify yourself from his mercy when you think you hiding from him, you see. And so that's something that's how we know when we have a genuine relationship with the Lord. I want to be like Abraham. I want to be called a friend of God. I want to be called his friend, not just have a relationship, not just be father son, but be his friend. I want to be his friend. I want to be like Moses, just asking favors. Lord, can I see you? And he responds, no, yeah, I'll let you see this part of me and that. That's the kind of, to me, that's the only kind of relationship to have with him. I don't want it to just be, God and peon. I want to be his friend, so that when I talk to him, he talk back. He show me stuff, and things like that. To me, and this ain't some special request. That's what he requires of all of us. He want to be all of our friends, But it's hard to be friends with somebody when you done stole a cookie and you hide it. You see, God ain't the problem,